the streak. It was the biggest thing every year for WrestleMania. We always wanted to know who was going to be Undertaker's next opponent. The undefeated streak seemed like it was going to last forever until Undertaker got a concussion and Brock Lesnar won and defeated the streak and created maybe the biggest WWE meme of all time. Now, currently, Undertaker went on bitch ass Ariel Helwani's podcast and talked about the streak and who he thought should have beat it and how everything went down. So I thought today I should talk about the people that I think could have been runner-ups to defeat the streak if it was ever to be defeated. Fuck Ariel Helwani. Vladimir Kozlov was on here, and he's not a part of the top 5. He's just here because Undertaker shockingly said this was one of the guys he thought could have beat him for the streak. Now, in my opinion, I don't see that ever happening, even though he was going insane when Vladimir Kozlov was first in WWE. At his peak, he was very dominant, and Undertaker thought it could have been it. And Vince actually wanted Edge. Undertaker also talked about that as well. Edge was the one that was supposed to defeat the streak, but Edge told Vince that he did not want to end the streak because it was too legendary. That just shows how much respect Edge has for Undertaker and how much the streak meant to everybody. It was insane to think about it. Edge could have won in that moment, but he didn't. So now top 5. Number 5 could have been Bray Wyatt. Now, everybody knows that Bray Wyatt could have been the next up. We all thought he was the next Undertaker. Now, will there ever be another Undertaker? Never. That will want to be the biggest characters of all time. But if it was anybody closest, it could have been Bray Wyatt to keep that streak going. Instead, will become that guy to be the next person in line. So it would have made sense for Bray Wyatt to win. So he's definitely on the list at the top 5. Number 4. John Cena. Not talking about the lackluster WrestleMania 34 match they had. I'm talking about Cena back when he was full-time and at his peak. They could have had an amazing match because I truly believe, John Cena is or one of the GOATs of wrestling. And at the time the champ is here, was the best thing to happen in WWE. So at his peak, it would have been insane because at that time, everybody hated Cena and then some people loved Cena. So it would have been great to see that match happen earlier on in his career. So John Cena could have definitely been one of the guys to do it. And honestly, whether you like him or not, John Cena is one of the best of all time. So that's how it is. Number 3, CM Punk. We all knew he was going to be on this list. After his match at 29 was insane, and I think it was one of the best matches in WrestleMania history. He could have been that guy because he was the biggest person in WWE at that moment. Yeah, he does some stupid shit time and time again. That match was incredible, and he was super over with the fans, even though he was a heel. And I don't think anybody would have been upset if Punk would have did it. This should have been the main event, but, obviously Cena and Rock had to be the main event because it was bigger. But CM Punk definitely could have been that guy. That match was insane. Punk was super over at the time, and it would have made him have bigger heel heat than ever, being the one that defeated the streak. So, yeah, it could have been there. It was there. I actually thought it was going to end there, and it would have been an insane thing to happen. But, yeah, it would have worked. And number 2, Triple H. We all know Triple H trying to avenge his best friend was one of the best storylines in WrestleMania history. And their match at 28 even proved it even more. I thought that year was going to be the year that Triple H defeats the streak and everything will be over. Because having Shawn Michaels being the person that couldn't beat the streak, being the ref, was insane in a Hell in a Cell match. I thought it's also one of the best WrestleMania matches ever. This was definitely Triple H and Undertaker's best match, in my opinion. There even came a point in the match where Shawn Michaels hit a super kick and then Triple H hit a pedigree right after that, and I thought it was it at that moment. I was like, the streak is over. And that would have been the craziest ending to the streak, and I would have been totally fine with it because That was a crazy spot, and I think everybody for a split second was like, yeah, the streak is over tonight. I thought that, so it happened. Still one of the best Mania matches of all time, and the end of the era storyline was always going to be there, so end of an era had to happen. Undertaker remained. Number one. We know number one has to be Shawn Michaels himself. That match at WrestleMania 25 was arguably the best WrestleMania match of all time. Both of them killed it out there, and especially at their age, it was insane. Spot after spot, everything was so close together. Undertaker almost killed himself. That match was just it. Shawn Michaels was him at that moment. He even kicked out of a tombstone pile driver, and we all thought that this could have been Shawn Michaels' year. And I seriously thought that this would have been it. Shawn Michaels should have been the one to defeat the streak after that amazing performance. Now, the big question, should the streak should have ended at all? And in my opinion, no, it shouldn't have ended. I think Undertaker's streak is one of the biggest things in WrestleMania history, so it should have went down as him retiring with nobody defeating him at WrestleMania. And everybody wouldn't have been fine with that. Undertaker is just that guy. He's also one of the GOATs of wrestling, and it would have made sense for nobody else to defeat him at Mania because he was just that guy. The Phenom was something else. Sadly, he had to get that concussion, and Brock won, and it just didn't really sit well with anybody. But that's just how life works. Sometimes we don't get what we want, sadly. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Undertaker streak should have kept happening? Or you think Brock Lesnar was the right person? Do you think my list was great? Let me know in the comments who you think could have beat Undertaker. Anyways, guys, this is NezReacts, and I'll see you in my next video. Deuces.